Hey guys, welcome to Healthy TV. This is episode number 28. I'm Dr. John McPhee from the Wellness Group, and I'm so excited to be here and really glad that you're joining me live on this video Friday afternoon. A little bit late, I will admit. I had some technical difficulties last night, but glad that I'm able to get on the live video this afternoon. And for those of you watching the replay, most of you actually probably watching on the replay, and so I want to let you know I'm going to get into some. I think one really simple step for you to start to eat a little bit healthier. And that's really the big topic coming up for the next month for us at the Wellness Group is around nutrition and how can you start to build or create a diet that is really connected to us as humans and what's going to allow to create health in the long term. I really am a bit resentful of the term diet because it's really the word's been kind of I think stolen or taken over by this concept of diet being something that you do over a short term, when in reality the word diet just simply means what are you consuming. Okay, and as humans, there's actually, I think, like an optimal diet. That's something that we teach at our Eat by Design seminar. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to get out to that seminar. It's coming up next week. And so really the easiest way, if you're not actually already signed up for that, is to simply comment below. And what I'd like to know is, as the title suggests, what are you most confused about when it comes to eating? And so just put in the comment below, what is it that really kind of drives you crazy? What's based on maybe some of your research or keeps coming up with conflicting information. So just put it below, whatever the topic is. And that's actually going to help me. I'm going to try and address those in future videos over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So give me lots of data, get lots of information so that I can put together good quality content for you for future shows. Now, I think, personally, being in the health and wellness field and, definitely working toward becoming an expert in wellness, I get really confused myself, and I find it quite frustrating. You can find, I follow several different people online, and sometimes they coalesce and they start to share the same message, but a lot of times it's opposing views, or at least there's very different opinions as to what constitutes a good healthy diet. And I think if it wasn't for my ability to based on this long accumulation of knowledge so that I can kind of filter out what is true and not true, or what kind of I think what put through this filter of what our bodies are actually designed for, what's going to lead to the best long-term outcomes, I'd be throwing my hands up in the air, and I think I would just probably give up. And I'm sure lots of you can relate to that. If you go to the bookstore, local bookstore, there's literally hundreds of books on nutrition now. I think last time I did a Amazon search, there was over 100,000 books related to nutrition. And so there's tons of opinions out there. And I think the first thing to understand, and this is really just to maybe put a bit of context behind nutrition, is that nutrition is a very new science, relatively speaking. And so we can expect that there's going to be some variability in terms of the information. There's new stuff coming out all the time. There's new ways of thinking about nutrition, as it relates to our biology, as it relates to our evolutionary history. And so I'm pretty confident that some of the stuff I'm teaching right now is going to be proven to be untrue or perhaps not accurate in 5 to 10 years from now. And I'm okay with that because I think the underlying principles that I kind of hold for myself and that we teach at Eat by Design is actually, I think those are going to remain unchanged. Okay, so like I mentioned before, if you want to attend the seminar, please just put a comment below. Let me know what you're most confused about when it comes to eating. And I'm going to put all those names in a draw, and we're going to give away 2 tickets to the next seminar, which is coming up on next Wednesday, actually. That's out in Canada. And so I want to get into the topic for today. And really I think the easiest thing when it comes to starting to move toward eating a healthier diet, one thing, if you take a kind of a 10,000 foot view of all these different sets of recommendations, all these different diets out there, all the good ones share at least, I think they share a ton of different similarities, but one common similarity that's across all good diets is to eat real food. Okay? And that's actually the first principle that we teach at Eat by Design, is eat real food first. Now, what do I mean by real food? I think a good reference point for this is, how many ingredients does real food have? Okay, let's think about it. How many ingredients does an apple have? Right? It has one ingredient. It has apple. That's the only thing in it. Steak is beef, you know. And chicken is chicken. So I think that's a really good first place to start, is how many, make sure that you're consuming real food, and the majority of your consumption should be coming from real whole foods. We can get into a conversation maybe in a future video about the quality, and I think there's something to be said about making sure you're consuming high quality real foods, but really just to start, let's just focus on eating good whole food. Okay. And now there's some simple rules that you can follow. I think a good thing is that real food typically doesn't come in a box or a package. Usually comes as a whole unit. So you can look at anything with a barcode. Perhaps you can avoid that, or with a list of ingredients. Those are good things to avoid, or at least to push down your list when it comes to what you're choosing to eat. We used to be able to say, just shop around the perimeter of the grocery stores, but of course those savvy marketers that the grocery stores I consult with have told them that that's consumers are getting savvy to their methods, and so they've started to, I don't know if you noticed, but over the last probably 10 years, they started to plant those junk foods or other packaged foods in amongst all of the the produce and the meat and the cheese and that kind of stuff. So can't really follow that rule much anymore, but I think really if you when you're out grocery shopping and you're looking at your cart, you got it in front of you, and you're adding up kind of the quantity of food in there, you definitely want to have over 80% of it as real whole food. Okay, I think that's a great place to start, and a really easy action step that you can put into place the next time you go grocery shopping. Okay, so I really just wanted to share that one simple tip. Over the next 4 weeks, I'm going to be diving into some other topics relating to nutrition. Next week, we're going to be talking about overeating. It seems to be a big comment that a lot of people mention, is like, how do I stop from overeating? I'm trying to lose weight, or at least to get my weight under control. And so I've got a great simple strategy that I teach and gets lots of good feedback. So we'll go through that next week. But for now, comment below, what are you most confused about when it comes to eating? And most of all, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.